Alright. So essentially, I just want to go through this game, kind of like a VOD review, kind of go through analysis and look at my mistakes, look what I did right, and hopefully we all can take some value from it. And obviously, during some parts, I'll skip ahead and things, just to make sure. So right off the rip, I can actually talk about this. Alright. This is where the bus route is, and essentially, a golden rule that you can kind of remember is that you can kind of make the assumption that more people, since it's coming from the right side of the map, more people will be spread out across this section of the map, right? That section of the map will be more people, but on this side will be less people, just because people like to jump out early, right? But if you're going into like a really serious scrim match or something, like really like pro scrims or semi-skirmish, they'll be spread across all the entire map, just because people have their designated spots. But in a game like this, I feel like people would just jump early. Anyways, let's just continue on with the VOD. Essentially, I think we can just skip this whole factory part. So let's just do that. So we essentially go through factories, we loot all of it. Alright, we're looting. Just skipping ahead to the point where I finish looting. We find 2 big pots, so we just pop those right away. No point to holding on to them. And now this is where it gets interesting. We start rotating over to Leaky Lake, the middle. Right now we have around like 650 mats. And we actually see someone. We spot someone right away. Right? We're looking at them right now. They have a pretty good position, right? Because what happens if I try to push them here? Right? I'm going to have to go around like this. Probably around this rock or around this way. And guess what? When I'm right here, they're going to have high ground. When I'm right here. He's going to be up here. Right? And just staring down at me. And he's going to have high ground above me. So pushing this position, in my opinion, just running around and pushing him, is not going to be the play. At least not right away. Alright? Now, things have changed. I just hit him for 50 shield. He must be weak. Now look at my HP. I'm sitting at 200 HP. I hit him twice for 25, and I know for a fact that he's 100 HP. How do I know he's 100 HP and not 150? Let's go back. Let me show you why I know he's 100 HP. A lot of people don't actually know this, and this is actually a very good thing that you should know. When you tag someone, you can actually see how like there's a little bit of a blue like burst, almost like in Halo when you burst their shields. Like there's like a kind of like an explosion, like a mini explosion. I'm gonna show you again. Like, just look at him. When I hit the second shot, see how there's like a little bit of a blue explosion? That means he lost all of his shields. So I'm assuming he started off at 150, right? Pop some minis or something. I just hit him for 50 total. Now he's sitting at 100 HP guaranteed. I know that for a fact. He's not at 150. He's at 100. Right? So now I can push him. I use this thing to kind of disrupt his position. Now I'm pushing him. I know he's low. That's why I'm trying to peek this, even though he has high ground. And now guess what? I just hit him for what? 60? 60 headshot? You see the numbers. It's super important to count the numbers and sort of keep an image of his health in your head. Right? So now he's sitting at 40 HP. No shields, 40 HP, unless he hit minis. But he didn't hit minis. Why do we know that? Because the first hit that we hit him for 62 was the yellow. That means there's a headshot, no shields. He's at 40 HP guaranteed. 2 more air shots and he's dead. It's super important to keep track of the HP throughout the fight. And sort of your decisions are based off of your opponent's HP. Right? So what happens here is that the circle right here, the circle is actually it's kind of like this. I'm going to try to redraw it here. It's obviously bigger and then more towards this side, but essentially what my idea is, and also it includes more of like risky build, okay? Anyways, but my idea is I spot a rift right here, right? I can take this rift and I can choose almost anywhere up to like this point, right? I can choose anywhere in this circle except like all the way back here to position myself. And I chose up here, right? Why? Because I'm lacking metal. And the closest metal source to this area that's kind of safe and not that popular is actually Risky Reels. A lot of cars there, and there's also cars on this bridge here too, right? There's a lot of drawings on here, but I just want to get you the idea of what I'm thinking throughout this entire game. I'm lacking metal. I'm good on wood. I have 400 break. I'm good on that as well. I'm lacking metal, and in the end game, mats are so important. You know, you want to have like a good supply of mats to survive the end game in a scrim, and I'll show you later on in this VOD review. You'll see why exactly all those mats matter, and how quickly you'll actually burn through those mats to stay alive. So I'm thinking, hey, there's a rift on this mountain, metal, Risky Reels, and this bridge. That's essentially what I'm thinking. But anyways, I start executing the plan that I just mentioned. Go towards the bridge and look for the metal here. There should be some cars in the bridge area and a truck here as well. And I see those builds over there. I'm like, hey, that looks suspicious. Let me go over there, see if I can get a third party, or maybe there is no one there and I can actually just farm the cars for free. Now we do see someone there. Someone's building there right now. So I'm looking for a third party. And at the moment, it doesn't look too promising. I see both of them in my vision on my screen right now. One's at the top, and one's at the bottom. I'm shooting the bottom guy right now. I don't actually get any hits. And the reason why AR spamming like that, or like you're super far away from the fight, you know, you're not actually committed or involved, but just shooting AR at someone is actually super good because you get information. If I tag that bottom guy there and I saw a white number, I know he's super weak, and I can make a decision based off that information. If I tag him and I see a blue number, maybe tag him twice and I see both of them blue, you know, he could still, and I don't see that little explosion that I was talking about earlier, he should still be like super healthy, and I can make a decision, hey, I don't need to push this because that guy's super healthy, let them fight it out, you know, a little bit longer, weaken each other, and then maybe I'll push it. That's why I'm just posted up here, you know. I'm positioned in a really good spot to just enter or just leave, whatever I like think is suitable. And like notice how I'm just refreshing, like I'm maxing out my wood every opportunity I get. Because in a game mode where, you know, you only have 1500 mats total, I feel like it's super important to do that. So anyways, there isn't game sound, but what I listened to and what I saw in the kill feed was, hey, they finished their fight, he killed their other guy. So it's only a 1v1 at the moment. I'm just trying to figure out where he is at the moment. Just listening to game sound. I hear impulse or a shockwave go off. And he's just trying to get, I understand that, hey, he's trying to get high ground on me. Now I make the mistake here of actually dropping down. I should have realized, hey, he might have another shockwave because they come in two, right? They don't come in one, they come in two, and he actually uses another shockwave here. He just used it and now he has high ground. I just turtle up, I take the loot that I want, the big pot. There's actually two of them, it's super good. And then I work on, you know, trying to be a little bit patient. Maybe he gets impatient and comes down a little bit, and then I can go for the retake. And I actually hear him come down a little bit. I do mess up my double ramp here, but I'm just trying to go for the retake right now. At this point, it's super hard to do so, because if I go up this ramp right here, suppose I do this, right? Suppose I edit this square, I edit it again because there's a roof, and start going out this way. He's positioned right here. He has the absolute perfect angle to take me on. That's why going for the retake from this angle is bad, especially when he has this position up here, right? You don't want to do that. What I'm trying to do is either be patient where he makes a mistake, you know, maybe he drops down onto this stair right here, and then I can go for it, wall off the side right here. Then I can go for the retake, or I can look for another play where I break this whole structure because it does look super weak. It's only standing on this ramp right here, and it looks super, super weak. But absolutely editing this twice and running out is absolutely a mistake. I'm gonna get domed by this shotgun right here. He's a really good position. I don't wanna contest that, essentially. So that's exactly what I do. I turtle up, I try to look for a different angle, maybe, and I realize, hey, his build is weak, I'm gonna actually break it. And he's gonna fall down. And that's exactly what happens. It's falling down, I just broke it, then I go for the retake. But essentially, now I'm on the same height as them because of that play. And I actually do get the retake. Now, I'm questioning myself dropping down. The only reason I dropped down so far is because I hear him dropping down really, really far. And now, I'm sort of using the storm to push him out so I can, you know, I'm hoping what he does is that he runs out the storm and starts right here. I have the perfect, even right peak, dude. I even have a right peak on this guy right here. If he does that. But he's actually kind of smart. The storm only does, what is it? The first circle? It's the first circle closing in onto the second circle. What is that? That does 1 damage, right? So he can actually sit in here for quite a long time, especially even if he has a medkit. So that's exactly what he's doing. Because he knows that if he runs out here, he's just going to get, like, snapped on, bro. Like, he's going to get AR'd, he's going to get shotgun. He's going to take a lot of damage, essentially. And I think he's really smart for actually staying in the storm like this. So I'm just trying to figure out where he is. And I spot him. Take a shot, couple shots. I hit him a lot here. I hit him for 430 blue, right? Which means 120 damage. 33 actually, so it's 130 if you round it off. And that means I know he's weak. That's why I go for the shotgun play. And then we get the kill. I could have picked up that AK there. What's up, Slayer? But essentially, that kill did not punish us, right? Yes, I used a little bit of mats. We're at 100 HP. But the mats that we're missing is wood. And guess what? We're in Wailing Woods right now, right? We can refresh this wood instantly. We can max out a wood like very, very easily. I'm not too worried about that. And we still have a healthy supply of brick, healthy supply of metal for the end game. The wood I'm absolutely not worried about. I can easily just max out my wood, and that's exactly what I do. I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit. Alright, already at 200 wood. Going through Wailing, hitting while I'm moving. Alright, take a ghost. Like, I legit don't even want to take that fight. And I try to stick on the edge of the circle. And I don't run straight into the middle. I'm gonna have a really hard time trying to like make my way there. I just saw someone else. I saw someone else like right here. If you look up at the map. There's a guy rotating, going this way. But I don't pick the fight. Because my biggest priority is getting to zone. So actually I choose to go around the other side of the mountain, right? I go through here. My plan is to go around here. And then get to zone. Just like that. Now let's think here. There's people everywhere. There's people. I'm gonna look at the minimap. There's a guy right here, the guy who just launch padded, who we were fighting earlier. There's another guy all the way back here because we heard shots from him. There's actually multiple people in this entire box area here, maybe 2 or 3, right? Let's say 2. There's 4 people surrounding me. Now the best place to be in zone, honestly, is this hill right here. At least from my perspective, right? If I was on the other end of the circle, the best place would change. So we're gonna continue here and see what happens. Keep in mind with all the people that I just mentioned. So I'm just making sure that I'm not taking hits as I'm moving to zone. Or to the position that I mentioned. This guy shows up. I try to get height over him. I wasn't worried about traps because I knew I could hop out instantly. So I don't think he was that good. So we just picked up a kill there easily. Then we're going to continue with my original objective. But again, there's more people. There's so many people in that area. He's all the way down there. But that's just what's going on in my head. So I give up the high ground position because I'm thinking, hey, I don't want to fight this. I want to just get to the spot that I wanted originally. Which is right here. And I just post up here. And I try to control every single floor and roof. Which gives me editing privileges. I don't know why I opened it to break that. That was kind of dumb. Could have got sniped there. So I'm just, and keep in mind, as I'm breaking this, I'm getting materials, right? I'm actually getting more than what I'm placing. Which is the reason why I'm actually breaking everything. See right there. 18. I'm getting 20, 18 wood. But then I'm replacing it, right? So I'm losing 10, but it's still worth it. Right now, in-game, I'm actually hearing someone above me. So there is a player above me. In that case, I just drop down a level. I don't want to get anywhere near him. I just choose not to engage with him at all. I'm thinking I should have game sound in these. Because it lets you guys know what's going on as well. In terms of like why I'm playing the way I am. I don't know about this dude. So I'm posted here. There's 30 seconds until the zone starts closing in. I try to take a shot at him. Just to see what kind of HP he has. Information and also do damage, right? There's a guy also running here. We take him out. I'm just trying to alleviate some of the pressure around me because as I'm making the rotate, the less people around me, the easier that rotate's going to be. Or even the less people that are 200 HP around me, the easier that rotate's going to be. Right? Does that make sense? Because if people are less HP, they're going to be less inclined to push towards me. So then I just place that trap, in case someone's following behind me, and then I put up a turtle. And then the storm spot's closing in. The reason I didn't want to go last second is because if someone's already in the position I'm in, they can easily just keep me out. Because I would be rotating like this, but then they would be right here, right? They'd just be sitting here and then just AR me as I'm running in. And then the storm's kind of pushing me in the back, right? I'm sort of getting pinched between the storm and that player. I don't want that to happen, which is why I went a little bit earlier. And if you have a sort of free rotate, without getting punished, if you can do it as early as possible, do it. As long as you're not getting punished for it. So I'm just editing doors and then re-editing to sort of look through my build, see where people are, so to get any sort of information that I can. Because right now I'm sitting in a turtle, I can't do much. So I don't mind getting some information. So what we know right now is that there's a player right here. You can see him through the build. The kid I just AR'd all the way down here. He's rotating this way, right? He's rotating this way. So he's gonna be running towards this side. But the thing is, in about 4 seconds, we're about to know where the next zone is. Not super important, right? So we're hoping it's gonna be somewhere like this, because then we don't have to move at all, and we conserve mats, and we conserve, HP. We conserve a lot of things if the circle is here. The worst position the circle could be is somewhere around here, because that's the furthest point that we have to run through. And there's gonna be people spread across all like this, right? There's gonna be people everywhere. There's 16 people in this small circle. Where do you think they're gonna be? They're gonna be spread out like this, in turtles and towers and everything. And running through this is like a minefield. I'm just gonna get AR, shock, and everything. It's gonna be really, really difficult to run across like this. Or I would have to spend all my mats to get there, right? To do it safely, lose the least amount of HP as I can to get in that position. So in 4 seconds, we're about to know where the circle is. I need to conserve mats where I can, but at the same time, I need to get mats. So. And the circle is actually in the worst position possible. So I instantly start rotating. I'm trying to, I realize, hey, it's going to be a really hard rotation because there's going to be a lot of people. So I'm just trying to get the mats that I can, like free mats, wherever. Because I realize it's going to take a lot of mats to get in that position. It's going to take a lot for me to get there. Absolutely. Without dying. So I need more mats, essentially. I'm just listening. There's someone above me. It was essentially that guy in the metal box. He's running to zone. So I stay still. I don't even make a sound. But even if I did, I don't think you'd be interested in fighting me because of the zone. So right now you see I have 3 seconds to start moving because the zone's going to start coming in right away. But I think I have a launch pad. I do have a launch pad. So the thing what you can do with the launch pad is essentially what I'm doing right here. Everyone's going to rotate early before the storm starts pushing in. Essentially everyone's going to start moving here, right? Earlier than I do. What that means is that this side of the circle is going to be super empty. Super empty, so I can do whatever I want. But coming in late is actually going to be bad if I didn't have a launch pad, because there's going to be so many people here and they're going to keep me out. Kind of like a wall. They're just going to be pushing me out. But since I have a launch pad, I can launch that all the way across and sort of play in the back here, which is exactly what I do. So I'd use that launch pad and go as far as possible into the new circle. Even use a bunny hop to try and get in there. So I'm just trying to turtle up. I don't have a lot of space here, so I extend out. Try to control at least 3 squares here. I'm chilling. Right? But I have zone, and the good thing is I'm actually in the back. So everyone who rotated like this, because that's where everyone else was, the most condensed area is going to be this side right here. Right? But I'm in the back. I'm safe, dude. There's 1, maybe 2 people back here, and then the rest of the 15 people are all spread across this way. Right? The way the storm is pushing people in is super important. and I got a super lucky circle for the next zone because I'm really, really close to it. So I start snaking my way there. And snaking is essentially building one like squares all the way there, one by ones. Right? And the biggest thing about you know end games here is sound cues. So like listening for footsteps. And I should have been aware that that was such an important thing, and I should have included it in the video. But hey, so I realized that guy's weak. I can kill him. Why not? Make my rotation easier. I don't take a lot of damage for it. No damage at all. So someone throws a stinks in my turtle, so I started moving right away. I should have started turtling or snaking across like way earlier, to be honest. But there's actually people in front of me. There's a lot of people in front of me. I start moving. I don't shoot that guy because he's gonna, you know, turn around and start shooting me. My biggest priority is getting to the next circle alive. I hear a lot of people, so I take a little, you know, little break. Try to not rotate with them because they're gonna. For some people, are just dumb. I swear they get really aggro and they start shooting you, even though the storm's right on their back. Like this guy right here, right? I see the opportunity to get do a little bit of damage there, but essentially I want to at this late game, at this end game, I want to end up on high ground, which is exactly what happens. Now there's a guy here, but I kill him with the trap and then move on. Storm also is threatening him. I don't have a lot of mats here. Notice how I have 11 wood and I just used it. I didn't even realize it though. So I need to get down here. So I use this brick wall to get down. Start taking a lot of fall damage. There's only 2 people left. I noticed that. I'm trying to get mats because I don't have mats at all. Every piece of material that I pick up is absolutely no mats. So bad. So yeah. I hope that at least gave you a little bit of insight as to why I did the decisions that I did and sort of played the way I did. Obviously there's a lot of mistakes that I made. I could have easily been in a better position in the end game there. Instead of scrambling, running into people, things like that. I could have even, instead of going for high ground, a different alternative is playing low ground. But then obviously everyone's running on the ground there. Maybe out of 15 people, 10 people, 12 people running on the ground there. Maybe 3 people up in the air. So that's why I kind of wanted to just get away from the ground there. But I didn't have the match to support that play, which is why I had to drop down again. So yeah, I hope that helped a little bit. And I think series like this is not only gonna help me understand what I did wrong, because I'm watching back and VOD reviewing my own gameplay, but it's gonna help you guys. At least some of you. Some of you might just look at this and be like, oh my god, what a noob. But it's gonna help a little bit of people.